Hey guys, hi Flosstube and all my cross-stitcher friends. If you're new, hi, and if you're old, hi again. It's been a while since I have posted a video. I actually looked and my last one was in very beginning of January. So yes, life happens. This is not going to be my normal semi arranged type of video. I needed to just sit down and do a video. Just do a video because I've been floundering. My stitchy bug took a serious, well, not as serious, comparatively to what I've seen other people deal with, it took vacation. Trying to figure out how I want to arrange this. So just to give you a quick rundown. January I was stitching. I was taking part in the monthly magazine challenges, January Bingo. I really enjoyed that. I took part in it the entire month, or yes, I did do it the entire month. Although for some odd reason I completely forgone. I basically just completely ignored my stitchy tracker. For some odd reason, I didn't even do anything in that. Not even a single pen mark in the month of January in my stitchy tracker. So, I don't know. Maybe that's when it began. I was set on doing Bingo, but something in my stitchy bug just started to slack during that time. Well, come February, okay, so last year, you guys know, I was all about magical stitches. I loved magical stitches last year. Something about the tempo of it and just the just how the prompts were, it worked for me, and apparently I was in the right mindset for it. And I just enjoyed the crap out of it. I loved it. So imagine my disappointment this year when something about it just hasn't clicked yet. And I've just been... Alright, so I think the first week in February was the first time they were doing prompts. And one of the prompts... part of this, I'm pretty sure this was part of it, but it wasn't the entire reason. But one of the prompts was you had to have a toilet in the project. And I'm like, thanks guys. I mean, I love challenging prompts, but something about that just didn't, I didn't want to deal with it. I was, work was kind of stressful, and I actually found a toilet pattern on Etsy. I was going to kit it up and start it, and it got to be too far in the week, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I just haven't been doing any of the magical stitches stitching. So beginning of February, I stopped stitching. And I didn't stitch for the rest of February. I didn't stitch at all in March. And then halfway through April, my husband says, hey, we're going to drive up to Ruidoso. Mother-in-law wants to get one of those carved, bears, statue bears. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, okay, it's roughly 50-ish minutes drive, and I always cross stitch when we're in the car, so I grabbed a project, and that's kind of what got me back into stitching. So I've started kind of slowly. I've worked on 2 projects so far this since then. So I just this is the one I grabbed for the truck, and so it is the Christmas bullfinch from Just Cross Stitch Ornament. Let's see. I didn't write. Nope, I didn't write it down. Yeah, Ornament from 2019 issue of Just Cross Stitch. And you may remember I've stitched this once before. It was the super cute little retreat swap project. So I stitched him again. So I don't know, the lighting on the camera is not that great. You can see the white stitches in real life really well, but on the camera, there we go. There you can see the white. So this is a finish. I have plans for him for a certain swap that's going to happen next year. So let's see. I started him for one of the Bringo challenges, and I honestly can't remember why. I just know it was a Bringo start, because he was originally going to be for December magazine monthly, but I was what's the words. I got too busy in December, so he got put off, and then there was a reason to start him in January for Beringo, so that's what I did. I finished stitching on him 13th May, so yesterday he got finished. He's stitched on 32 count Picture This Plus Legacy, which is what I stitched the pattern on previously, and it turned out it was a good fabric for that, although yeah, it's perfect. I love it. So this is a super cute little pattern. That is now a finish. So my first finish, my first finish for 2021. He will get turned into an ornament at some point before next January. So, or I don't know, maybe I'll stitch another project for that swap. I don't know. We'll see. And then he can hang out for some other reason, but he's always a fun stitch. It's just so pretty of a pattern and simple. Okay, so let's put you over here. We can set you, yeah, right there. That works. And the other pattern that I've been working on this month and some change since I picked cross stitch back up is this little ornament, and it's from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament 2013. Hope for the Holidays by Primrose Needleworks, and this is how far I've gotten. So boom, I've changed the colors. So far I'm stitching the blue was Weeks Dye Works Navy, the gray is Gassed Soot, the border is Gassed Harvest Moon, and the red is Classic Colorworks Cupid. The green, the block that's going to be the H is a green, and my original pick for it is not going to work. So I'm auditioning other ones. Okay, so this project, I am stitching from my Fancy Floss envelopes. So those of you who have been with me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, let me just quickly go over it. When my working threads, I use envelopes, and I put the floss inside the envelopes. Let me find a decent, in little coils. And I've been doing this since I was a teenager, and it's a system that works extremely well for me. So I can write the color on one corner, and I can put the symbol on the other color when it's in a project. So when I finish a project, all of the envelopes, so all the DMC, go into a big green box, like a scrapbooking storage box, and I don't have enough of the Fancy Floss envelopes right now to do that big, so it's just in a photo box. So what I did is I went to my photo box of Fancy Floss envelopes, so the leftover floss from previous projects, and I picked colors to put in here. So I figured this was the perfect project to use up some of my my leftover floss from previous projects. So that's what I'm doing. And I made a good amount of progress on it today. So this one, I'm planning to use it for a swap project in October. So it'll be, this will get done pretty quickly and pretty soon, and then I'll have time to FFO it. Alright, so that's just the two things I've been stitching on. Since I didn't keep any records, and I don't want to go back through the Facebook group to find everything, I have a different plan. Okay, so I have thought long and hard about why Magical Stitches isn't working for me. What do I want to do? Either change how I do that or just go in a different direction. And I have decided I'm going in a different direction. So this year is what I'm calling, this is my stitchy plan for this year, I'm calling Semper Gumby, because Semper means always in Latin, and Gumby is a highly flexible character from my childhood. So always flexible, Semper Gumby. Because that's the key to how I'm going to keep my stitchy bug from taking another vacation, is just to stay flexible. So my primary stitchy plan is a bit of a rotation. So what I want to do is I want to create 2 separate wheels on the Tiny Decisions app. One with my larger projects and projects that have a lot of stitches left in them, and another one with all of my smalls and anything that is close to a finish on the other wheel. And so what I plan to do is it'll be a weekly rotation, caveat, with flexibility. I am so not going to try to pigeonhole myself into very set limitations. I need this to be way flexible. But I need a plan in place. So, because I've actually felt like stitching a little bit these past couple months, but then I look at my pile of whips and I can't decide on what to stitch on. It's too much. I have trouble with decisions. I know this, and it was just my brain couldn't deal with that many possibilities and making a decision on it. That's why I think the Magical Stitches prompts were working so well for me. It narrowed down my list of possibles to pick from, and it would make it easier for me to pick a project to stitch on that week. Or, you know, however many prompts there were, pick a project for each prompt. So that's my plan. I will spin my small wheel, small wheel, how do I want to call it, small and close wheel, okay, small and close wheel on the first week. I will stitch on that project either until it finishes, or anytime I get tired of a project, I am just going to move on. I'm not going to force myself to keep stitching on it if I start feeling tired of it. That's another caveat, flexibility. If I feel tired with a project, it's just going to come off of the table. So my plan is to stitch on the small and close until either it finishes or the week is up, or I start feeling tired of it. And then either when it finishes or the next week, if I feel I need to take a break, you know, because sometimes I might feel like doing something else for a couple of days. I need to keep that in mind. I may not feel like starting on another project right away. But if I do, I will spin right then. If not, at the beginning of the next week, I will spin for the large and lots wheel. And I will stitch on that for a week. A week plus if if there was a few days before that week. This one I need to be super flexible about because, hey, if I get tired of it, I need to stop stitching on it. If I am loving the stitch, I will just keep going. I'll give myself a few more days on it, kind of thing. And this needs to be super flexible for me, because even the small and close, if I hit the end of the week and I've gotten so close and I want to just push forward with it, that's what I do. So that's my Semper Gumby rotation. Now adding to this, as long as I feel comfortable doing the additional things, I do the additional things. So I am going to participate in the cross-stitch camp that Colorado Cross Stitcher is going to do. So I will link her video that she talked about it in this video. So for June, July, and August, we start projects at the beginning of the month and we have them finished by the end of the month. So obviously I need to pick smallish, doesn't have to be ornament small, it can just be a small-ish, something that I know I can knock out in a month if I put my mind to it. Again, with that, I'm going to try to finish the project that month. I'm picking ones that have been on my start list for a long time, so they're ones that I really, really like, and they're going to be fairly quick stitches. And we always say that, but I do my best to try to pick the quicker stitches for things that have a deadline. So I'm going to participate in that. So while that's running at the beginning of the month, obviously I'm going to start a project and I will stitch on it till either I finish it or I hit a spot where I feel like I can take a couple of days break. I need to take a couple of days break. I'm starting to feel like I might get tired of it. So at that point, I will either choose to spin one of the wheels for something, or maybe I look at what I've stitched and, you know, so in some way, shape, or form, I will find something to stitch on for a couple of days. But I have a feeling that I can probably, if I put my mind to it, and I'm picking smaller projects, and they're ones that I love, I should be able to just finish them in that month. So that's what I'm going to try. Give me a sec. Okay, so I should have prefaced this video by saying it's probably going to be somewhat of a hot mess. And long. We know this. Alright, so, and then of course there's going to be the odd start here and there. Like, I have a project I plan on starting at StitchCon, and then there's probably gonna be a project I start for this reason or that reason. So starts are completely on the table. This is not a, you know, stitch from stash kind of thing. It's not a no starts thing. It's just I need to find a way to get myself to stitch more, to give myself a reason to stitch on a certain project rather than having to choose from all 40 projects in my whip pile. Alright, so, well, apparently I just let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to StitchCon. I'm going to a weekend A. I'm so looking forward to it. A bunch of the girls from my Situate crew are going to be there. So much fun. One of the girls from El Paso crew is going, and just, I am so looking forward to it. I really, really need just to get out and doing something. So many months of just going to work and coming home and going to work and coming home, going to work and coming home, need something. So it makes me happy that the retreats are starting to pick back up. So, all right. Before I get too much further in, let me show you the T-shirt for today. I'm not sure if I've worn this one before, but it's one of my favorite. So it says, I tried being normal once. Worst 2 minutes of my life. So, I love my T-shirts. Alright, so it's Friday. What day? May 14th. It's after work. We have storms in the area, so you might hear some thunder. I have my usual lighting, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's not the best, but it's a decent enough setup. So I have one light here, one light here, one light here, and one light over here. That's the key to video lighting, is having multi-directional lighting. I learned that when I first started doing videos. I did a lot of research, and so that's just how I got my filming setup set up. All right, so I've told you about my plan. The next thing, what I want to do is I want to do it's kind of a whip parade-esque segment. Really, I'm not doing a full-on whip parade, what I want to do is I want to touch all my projects. I'm gonna make a list of whether it falls into the large and lots or the close and small, small and close, so I can build my wheels, my tiny decision wheels. So these are going to be in no particular order. I don't know if I've stitched on them since my January whip parade, but I am not going to stress about it. So this is my Welcome Spring by the Drawn Thread, and this is what it looks like right now. I think this one got stitched on, so I do believe I have made a pretty good amount of progress. So the C is underneath the Q snap, so C is done, O is done, working on the M, and started on the L. Or the E. This is E. I can spell, yes. So this one, I am going to say this one might be small or close. This one's a medium, but it has a decent amount of stitches in it. If I were to just stitch on it and not do, you know, like a 200 stitches for a prompt here and 300 stitches for a prompt there, I think I could probably get through. So I'm going to write this one down on the small and close. Excuse me. But I will make a note on it that it's a medium project. But it's so cute. I really, really enjoyed this project. Okay, so I am not going to go over the... I have a urge to do the full-on whip parade type information, but I need to not this time, because this is not a full-on whip parade. This is just me touching each project while simultaneously showing you if there's any progress on it, whether or not there's any progress on it. Alright, so next one, ooh, this is a big one. So I know this one right off the bat is a big one, and it has lots of stitches left in it. So this is my DMC Rose project, and this is where I'm at. So decent, is that the right orientation? No, there it is. Okay, there it is. So that's how much is done. Still lots and lots of stitches to do, so this one can go in large and lots. DMC Rose. This one is a fun stitch, and all that pink just makes me happy. But it's kit floss, so it's short lengths of floss. All right. You know what? I'll set that off to the side because he's too big to fit comfortably in the bin. Whew, hot flash. Okay, so the next one. Give me a sec, my zipper doesn't want to cooperate. This is a project bag that I ordered because, oh my gosh, flamingos. I love my flamingos. When I start doing the hands-on design flamingos and, you know, all the trio of flamingo Christmas patterns, it will get this project bag. Alright, so this is my pink floppy. I don't have a picture of it. Nope. Okay. I've been trying to put pictures in with my patterns. Okay, so this is actually a restart. You may remember, I had started stitching it on a 1/1 on a smaller count, and I was hating it. So I restarted it. This is kind of one of those fluff type patterns that was nice for certain prompts. It was started because of a prompt. So we'll put it on small one. Well, you know what? Never mind. Okay, because there's gonna be just a small handful of projects that were started for prompts. They're good to have for prompts, but I don't feel the need to stitch on it right now. So I'm not gonna even add it to this. It'll still be in my stash for when I need it. But that's part of the reason I'm also going through all of them, so I can get a good sense of that. Because I need to make sure I stitch on stuff that really calls to me to keep me into stitching. Okay, so this is Glendon Place, Elizabeth. And this one this is how far I've gotten. This is a pretty one. Lots of sparkly bits to it. Now this one, I think I've decided I need to grid this. So at some point, maybe when I hit a break between when I finish a project and I don't want to start another project right away, I might pull this off the Q-snap and grid it before I need to start. Or maybe when it gets spun, that's the first thing I do, is I grid it before I start stitching on it. Because a lot of the stitches are done in metallics, and you do the cotton first, and then you do the metallics, and you do the beads. So I'm having to leave a lot of gaps, and just the counting is stressing me out. So this one needs to get gridded, but it has a lot of stitches left, so we're going to put it in big and lots. So, Elizabeth. It's far from completion. Okay, so let's just pull in random order. This one makes me smile. Okay, so this is from Hands-On Design, Wild Salt Air, and it's this little ornament, or little wreath down there, and I'm gonna make it into an ornament. And this is where it is. So this is a small and close. And this one I'm gonna love picking this back up, because I love Hands-On Design patterns. So they're always fun to stitch. So this one is gonna make me happy. So I think I know where I want to swap this. We haven't had one of those retreats in a while, so Wild Salt Air. Well, it's a good thing I can read my own chicken scratch, because I can't spell today, apparently. So that one is on the list, ready to go. Okay, let me stand up better in the bin. Okay, so if you're new or you've never been told or whatnot, I use the fabric bins for the IKEA Kallax shelving units to store my whips in, and it works well for me. Alright, so next one. This is my Etsy pattern called Wash Your Hands. Love this whole pattern. Okay, so I know that wash your hands is done at the top, and I have this, so seriously, I just have some words at the bottom. So just some words. I think this can be put in my small and close. So that one will be fun. Okay, so while my goal is not to finish projects, I just want to get some stitching done, and I figured this was the best way to organize such an endeavor. So this is my Tiny Modernist winter house, and this is where I'm at. So as you can see, I only have the border to do, some of those corner motifs, because I have a little bit in the pots. I have all the snow to do, all the white to do, and that's it. So this was actually gonna be a small and close. So winter house. So yep, I can either get a good amount of progress in a week or actually get this thing done. Go. Alright, next is I have a picture. Yes, I do. Alright, so this is my Winter Snow Owl by Blackberry Lane Designs. So there he is. And this is what I'm at. So we're gonna put this in the small and close. He's not that close. Still a decent amount of stitches to do on him in his face. It's 1/1 in his eyes and nose area, and then a lot of snowflakes, but it's relatively, it's a smallish. So we'll put him in the, so I won't always finish the small and close, but I will get good I will get good progress on each one. And who knows, you know, maybe I get through this list in this year, maybe I don't. Either way, it's just, it's my plan. I'm sort of sticking to it. So there he is. I can fit one more in this bin. Okay. Alright, so next one. This is my my big toe designs. Nothing to fear. Nothing to fear but fear itself and spiders. And I am so close. So, so I just need to stitch the rest of itself and then do all the spiders. So I think that one can be considered a small and close. There should be small and or close, but doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. So nothing to fear. You know, and once I get done with this, if there's a definite disparage, whatever word I'm looking for, a huge difference between this list and this list, I might do 2 weeks of this and 1 week of this. Who knows? We'll see. I just say it as many times as I need to myself. Just stay flexible. Do whatever feels right, kind of thing. Do whatever makes you happy. Alright, so this project is I do have a picture. I printed out pictures for some of these projects, and I just haven't added them to the bags yet. So this is an Etsy pattern. It's for my husband, because sarcasm is a way of life for my husband. And this is what I've gotten done. This is a perfect project for whenever a prompt needed black stitches, because it's nothing but DMC 310. So, or you know, anchor black, if that's what you're using. I think this will go in my small and close. So 0 days. So I've decided, you know, it's possible, and it's probably even likely, that I will go back to magical stitches at some point, but I don't know for certain, and I don't know how long it's going to take me. So I do kind of need to just let go of keeping projects for prompts. So, alright, this is an Etsy pattern. No, this ain't Etsy. This is dailycrossstitch.com. Super cute. So, this is how far I've gotten. So yes, I think this can be considered, I mean, still, that's a fair amount of stitches, you know, in there, but it's solid stitching. It goes nice. So we're gonna put him in small and close, and I think he is one of the projects that I might have to keep in mind when, you know, the husband says we're driving up to Ruidoso, we're driving to Cruces, since we are just on the cusp of starting to just get out more. So this will be a good in the car project, so I'll have to keep this in mind for when and if that happens. Alright, so this is my Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers. And let's see. This is actually a pretty far along. You know what? Let me see what. Okay, I had an empty envelope. I went to go stitch a color and I didn't have it. Don't know how that happened. But I think I've gotten it. It took a while for it to come in stock at 1-2-3 Stitch, but I'm pretty sure I have it in my stash now, so I'll have to get that ready and process it so that I can start stitching on this guy again. Alright, so get that picture out again. Alright, so this is where he's at. I'm pretty sure he got stitches in January. So really what I have left is the third sloth. I have to do all the faces on the sloths and all the flowers and the little bumblebee. But I think this one could, I would consider it close-ish. It's definitely not lots. It's closer to close than it is to lots. So we'll put Tired Trio in this bin. Although if I find that I have a large list of small and close and a not so large list of large and lots, I might break the small and close up to small and close and medium lists and do a 3-week rotation that way. So maybe we'll have to see. Once I get a big picture view of everything, then that will help me decide. Let's see, I got a notification on my phone. Nope, nothing urgent. Alright, so this is Stony Creek Christmas in the Pines. Beautiful, beautiful little project. Okay, so, boom. Here's where I'm at. So, I have, let's see where my floss is coming from. Alright. So, this tree is done. This tree, I'm just filling in those last few snowflakes in it. This tree has all of its green and brown stitches, but there's just that one snowflake to fill in. And then I have this tree right here to do. So one more tree, and then all of the snow along the bottom and the words. So that would be a medium. So Christmas in the Pines. Medium. Alright, so but that's a fun stitch. And it's gonna be so pretty when it's done. Okay, so alright, so this project is a quasi-finish, but it's not a finish. This was the retreat project from the El Paso crew. So I have all the stitching done on it, but let's see. There is a bunch of buttons to put on it, and then there's that little fob to do. So I think I will put this on the list as small and close, and when it comes up I will put the buttons on, and I will stitch the little fob as well. I think that makes sense, because this one really, it didn't want to come up as any prompts. So this is a good way for me to get to it and just finish it up. So perfect. Tea Tiny Season Spring from Faithworks Designs. Nancy is an absolute sweetheart. She's in the El Paso group that I meet with when there's not COVID. So that's a good one. Alright, let's, ooh. This is a big one. This is my Silver Moon Tea. So this is my Mirabilia Silver Moon Tea, and this is where I'm at. So a good amount of stitching done, but there are still a lot of stitches left. So fill in the gaps in the bottom, and then fill in the gaps in her hair and her dress, and then do skin. I'm gonna do 1/1, and I think I've got the moon behind her and to right about here, so I have all of this moon to do. So lots of stitches and a crap ton of beads. So we'll put this in large in lots. Silver Moon Tea. So just get some progress on her. She was awesome for prompts. So I have no doubt that if I do go back to, if she's not done by the time I go back to either Magical Stitches or another prompt-driven stitching group, she always gets love, lots of love. Okay, so that bin is empty. Let's take a Dr. Pepper break. Oh. Love my Dr. Pepper. Alright, let's move on to another biggin. So this is my DMC Willow pattern. I don't have the picture with me. It's a free pattern. You can get it on the, I think you can still download it from their website. I got it when it was a Cross Stitch magazine article from DMC. If you want this free pattern, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope and $1, you know, and they'll send it to you. So this is my willow pattern. So lots of stitches already done. I am currently working on bringing all of these down into here. I'm on the cusp of redoing the pattern, the working copy, but this is definitely a large in lots. So DMC Willow, and I think a week stitching on it will give me a good amount of progress. And like I said, if I get stitching on one of these and I am just loving it and I don't want to put it down when that weekends, I'm just going to keep going for a few more days. Or like I'm you know, close to a goal, you know, like a goal. Yeah, so Semper Gumby. Just do what feels right. Okay. So this is definitely in the large and lots. It is my give me a second. Find the picture. This one picture always gets lost amongst the pages. So this is my Mick Christmas by Carried Cross Stitch. Do a Google search, you'll find them. She has a merchant website that she uses to sell her patterns. I saw this guy stitched up on a Facebook, on Instagram, or was it Facebook? I think it was a Facebook post, and I fell in love with him. So this is where I'm at. So I know he got some stitches in January, but so there he is. I'm starting to fill in the second color in his hat, and lots of stitches left on this guy. So he is a large in lots. He's not overly large, but he's got lots of stitches in him. But it'll be gotta write them down. Christmas. Yell at me if I forget to write down a project. Okay. This is my Baby Yoda, or was it Grogroon? That was his name. I didn't write it down. Alright, so this is an Etsy pattern. Who knows if it's still up, because you know how Disney is. So this is how far I've gotten. So he is close. He is super close. So yes, small and close. So Baby Yoda. Now if he gets, when he gets finished, I will have to pull out my other Mandalorian pattern. Let me make this page a little bit smaller so it'll fit in the project bag a little better. So I will pull out my other Mandalorian pattern and kit it up and have it ready for the next May 4th stitching. So, as you guys may have guessed and maybe have noticed, Stitch Mania this year for me is basically nothing. I'm not doing frack all for Stitch Mania this year. Just not feeling it. Ooh. This one is definitely large in lots. This is a super long-term project. Get the pattern picture out. This is my Kingdom of Books kit. And this is what I have so far. Boom. Alright, so I've stitched these two books and this top of the gatehouse, and now I'm working. I started on the side book here, and I'm doing some stitches in the foreground, but love this project. It short damn lengths of floss because it's a kit, but thankfully lots of confetti, so it doesn't bother me that much. So let's do Kingdom of Books. Oh, I am excited to get back to this one whenever he comes up on the wheel. So, Kingdom of Books. Ooh. Split splish, splash. Alright, this one's not even on the Q-snap. So I don't believe I have a picture of it. This was from an old cross stitcher, or World of Cross Stitch, forget which one. This is where I'm at. Okay. So here's a overview of what the pattern is. So as you can see, there is literally just a handful of stitches left on this one. So it's one of the ones always just, you know, it hung around until a prompt. It would fit into a prompt. So we're just gonna finish it. Because while it doesn't bother me to have 40 some whips on the go, I could easily go up higher. I think it's just going to feel good to get a few things done. So this is splish, splash. Alright, the next one. I love this. I love this bag. I love these watermelon. And I found the same fabric to make a coordinating grime guard for it. This project is, give me a sec. I know I got a picture. Yep, it is Watermelon by the Little House Needleworks. This was a little kit. And seriously, I have probably 20 stitches left to do on it. So this one got a good number of stitches during jury duty last year, or yeah, it was towards the end of last year. So there he is right now. So just a handful of stitches left and he will be done. So watermelon. LNH. I always put LNH or the LHN, Little House Needleworks, after watermelon, because I've had other watermelon projects, so it just helps keep this one differentiated. So he'll be a quick finish. Alright. So moving on. This is Candy Corn by OMG. And this is where I'm at. So it's on, I don't know, what is this fabric? 22 count. It's on 22 count. So it's teeny tiny little stitches. So a decent, I mean, there's still a decent amount of stitches left to fill in, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that one would go pretty quick. So Candy Corn. It's going to go in the close and small, small and close. I don't know if it's my OCD alphabetizing that keeps me wanting to say close and small instead of small and close, but you know what I mean when I say it. Okay, this, do I even have to pull this out? No I don't. Well, no I don't. Okay, so this is my, yes I do. I at least have to show you guys. what the project is. See, this is why I didn't want to pull it out. It's a pain in the butt to get all of this out of the project bag that's not big enough for it. So this is it. This is a big one. This is enormous. An enormous piece of fabric. Alright, so bear with me. So I know that I have done the border all the way across the top, all the way down one side, and most of the way across the bottom. So now I'm bringing it down this side, and I'm actually pretty darn close to the bottom here. So I really just need to bring it down and bring it across to meet. Fingers crossed it should meet. I gridded, so I'm pretty confident that it's going to meet. And then I'm going to backstitch the whole border before I start going into the center. But yeah, this project is going to be years of stitching. So you know, for all I know, I mean, you know, if I don't get back into a prompt-driven mode, if I finish most of my smalls this year and I have only biggins left, that means just next year I do a rotation of all of my biggins. So compass rose, goes on the large and lots. Alright, this one is a large and lots. It's got lots and lots of stitches left. Do I have a picture in here? Yes, I do. This is Growth Rings by Ink Circles. And this is where I'm at. So pretty. Okay, so I'm loving the blue. I'm not certain on the pink. You know, I love my pinks, but I'm not certain that the range or severity of the change between dark and light in it really goes with the overall feel of the blue. So I think I might have to look for a different pink to put in. So I stopped on the pink and I started moving over in the blue. But this is Dinky Dye Silk. So I just need to get to a cross stitch L&S that carries Dinky dyes and find a different pink to work with this. But I love it. But it's a lot of stitches. So Growth Rings. Love it. Love, love, love this one. So I'm excited to get back to him. Alright, let's grab the next one. Alright. This is my Antique Celtic Sampler, otherwise known as There Be Monsters. And this is where I'm at. Ooh. So I just have to finish up the dragon. I have to do the borders that are in that lower section around the dragon. Let's move this out of the way. Do the fish at the bottom. I have plans. Okay, so as you notice, there's birds right there. The birds don't fit with the theme. There's just something about it that bugged me, so I didn't stitch them. I'm gonna frog this out. I'm gonna frog this out. I think I'm gonna frog this out because I want to move this over, the word be over, and then use this space to put another monster in. And I'm charting him out, so when I get to it, that's what I'll do. But there's still a decent amount of stitches in him. Do I put him in large and lots or this medium? Decisions. Looking at those stitches. You know what? I think I'll put him in large and lots, but also annotate this medium on him in case I parse out my lists to make 3. That'll make it easier to do that. So he's got a decent amount of stitches left, but not so much. Not so much. He's a fun stitch too. Alright. Let's move on. Alright, so this is my scarecrow from Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2015. So he was started for the magazine thing. You know what, I will put him in small and close, but annotate it's a medium because so I have everything on this scarecrow except his one arm to do, and 2 more stalks, and then a bunch of ground. So a decent amount of stitches. So he's a medium. But he's solid color. He's one color, so solid stitching on him goes pretty quick. So he might be another good one to keep in mind for when I need a car project. Oh my god, this one just makes, I need to just get some good stitching on this one. This one makes me happy. So it's Through the Storms by Silver Creek Samplers. No relationship is all sunshine, but 2 people can share one umbrella and walk through the storms together. I do have to do a little bit of redesigning on the stitching on the bottom. So I'll need to map that out, but I can get lots and lots of stitches done on this one. So far I've just got the 2 ducks and the flowers around the ducks, starting on the wording. So I am excited to get started to put some stitches in him. I'm pretty sure, let me see if I finish. Okay, so I had a issue where one of my envelopes didn't have floss in it. Okay, okay, so they all have floss in it. Am I missing? No, apparently not. Good, because I was missing floss at one point, and then I've also done some floss substitutions. Hopefully, I can go along a little bit more in this project and not have to substitute colors. Orthodontist paperwork. I guess I had this when I took my son to the orthodontist. But this one just makes me happy. So I need some good progress on him. But it's a lot of stitching, so we're gonna put this in large and lots. So through the storms. Because there's a decent amount of stitches left on him. He's fun. Super fun. So through the storms, let's see. Grab random bags. This is okay, yes, I do have. This is a pattern from Just Cross Stitch, October 2014. Yep. And this was started for the magazine monthly. But cute little, I think it's hands-on design. I'm pretty sure it's a hands-on design pattern. It just has the feel of it. So this is what I've gotten done. So it's a small, I mean, still a decent amount of stitches for a small, but it's a small. So this one can go in my small and close. Give thanks is what it's called. And that one will be a fun project to get some progress on. Okay, let's grab the next one. Ooh. This one is a large and lots. Most definitely. Okay, so this is my Teresa Kogut's Pray Angel. And this is where I'm at. So I've gotten all of the halo done, and now I'm starting to bring the hair down. It's highly confetti stitching, and so, but I'm also looking at it when I get to her face, I might have to find a slightly more subtle pink for those cheeks. Everything about this pattern jives except for how striking the pink is on her cheeks. So I think I'm going to be doing some floss substitution once I get to that point. But this one moves. It's kind of a slow mover because it's highly confetti. But it's a pretty picture. So Pray can go in large and lots. She'll get some stitches at some point when she gets spun. Okay, ooh, this is a large and lots. Okay, this is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. And this is basically what I've gotten. So that's her down to where the cat starts. And then I've done a little bit on the moon in front of her. I might have to frog that and redo it because I just don't like the way it looks. So started on the flower. As you can see, there is a ton of stitches left on this one. I need to figure out what color I want to stitch the cat in, because the cat was in the same color as her hair, and I don't think a cat should have red highlights in it like that. So I gotta find the right black to stitch the cat in, and I think, I'm not certain, but I think carriage black is gonna be it. So I just need to make a decision on that when I get back to it and start the stitches on her. So large and lots. Night walk down. Those are just floss colors for a project. Ooh, this one makes me happy. But there are lots of stitches left in this guy. So this is my fox and friend. And there it is. So making good progress on the fox. While the green part isn't stitched, all these fronds, I gotta do all the fronds in the background and this border. So lots of stitches in that border. So still good progress made, but still lots of stitches to do on this. So he's going to be in large and lots. Fox and friend. He is adorable. I love him. So, where we're at. Now this one will not go on the wheel because this is my herding cat. It's useful for certain prompts. I don't feel the need to stitch on him, so he's just gonna not be on the wheel. Okay, so fall on. Harvest corn. What did I call it? I called it harvest corn. You know, it's Indian corn, but just in case that's not PC, I called it harvest corn. So here is a picture of what it looks like, and this is where I'm at. So good progress. I'm started working on the last color in the corn, and then I just have to do the husk fringe, the husk part at the top, and then all the back stitching. But this could be considered more of a small than a medium, but it's a small. So harvest corn. Can put on the small and close list. Make some good progress on him. These can go back in this bin. Alright, so the next one, this is my azure mermaid. There's her picture. And this is how much I've done. So, decent amount I've gotten a good chunk of her tail done. So I just need to finish the flared part of her tail along her back and the bottom, and then start moving up to all that skin, and then her hair, and then all the beads. Lots and lots of beads. So I would put this at a large and lots, but it's would be also kind of a medium-ish. So Azure Mermaid. So she is a fun stitch. She's gonna be so pretty when it's done. Okay, so let's getting close. Here is my Among Black Cats cat in a bag from RTO. It's a kit from RTO, and here's where I'm at. So as you can see, I started on the bag, the white for the bag. So the cat is stitched. I gotta do the bag, and then a crap ton of back stitching on him. But I would consider him a small and close. So, Among Black Cats. Alright, so, oh, and just to let you know that Herding Cats, this is the pattern that I got the cat pattern from. It's a freebie. I think I gave the information on the Whip Parade on where to find it. I'll give it again on the next full up Whip Parade. So, boom. Let's get it in there while I'm thinking about it. Just to make the next Whip Parade a lot easier for myself. Alright, it appears as though I have one more project to show. Alright, this is my hands-on design, Blissfully Unaware, and okay, so I am just finishing up the wording. So the top band is done and the bottom band is done. And now I'm just whittling on those words. So this is definitely a close project. So Blissfully Unaware. Alright, so here are my two lists. Not a big difference in size between the two. So let's see, there's maybe I move this mediums over to this mediums in this list over to this list. Decisions. Yeah. So I will move this mediums from the small list over to the big list because they're all not close to finish. They're not super close to finish, so I think we'll do that so that the But then again, we're already in May. If I do a weekly rotation, 40 some whips. How many whips do I have? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 35. I don't know how many weeks are left in the year. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to move this medium from the small and close to large and lots. So we'll probably just call large and lots and mediums. So I think that will be a good thing to do. Large lots and smeeds. And then the list will be relatively even after that. I think that will work for me. Again, I probably have more whips than there are weeks, and there's going to be weeks when I don't do a spun whip. So whatever happens, and that's how we're just going to roll. We're going to roll with it, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, heck, if I get the small and close, if I get it done in like the first 2 days of the week, maybe I just spin another small and close. Who knows? So. And I need to check this against my stitchy tracker from last year to make sure I'm not forgetting any whips. I tend to keep them in certain places in the house, so that should be all of them. Alright, so thank you guys for indulging me for this hot mess. So it's quasi hot mess. It's not too bad, I don't think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my wheels tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch on the Hope for the holidays, because he didn't get put in here. So I'm gonna stitch on him until he's done. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm stitch on Hope until it's done, and then I will start spinning. And 1 June I start my first Camp Cross Stitch project. Mid-June at StitchCon I will start a project. So just flexible. So hopefully I can just keep stitching, because stitching makes me happy. I realized I was pretty miserable when I wasn't stitching. So I will come back probably relatively a month from now to do an update. Whenever it feels right for me to do an update is when I do them. Alright. Catch you guys next time. Happy stitching, everyone, and maybe I'll see you at StitchCon. Maybe. If not, maybe I had another retreat. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.